The next thing for us to talk about, though, is the new Dungos. Because, Matt, we have talked about Dungos recently. We took a look at the Dark Flame Cleft.
Which you enjoyed.
And I hopped into the Cleft with all you, and we got chased by the Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Which does sort of remind me of, number one, the Singing People, but it also reminds me of the Unknown from the Wonka experience that happened in Scotland. You know, where it's like, this is a concept incarnate.
I just had what I can only describe as, I have to call it a flashback.
Whoa.
Whatever way you were like Darkness, and you said, because obviously everyone thinks of the band right away because it's the Darkness, capital T, capital D. But then...
THD.
Yeah, and then you were like, okay, well, something else. And my brain just went, what else is Darkness? And I heard Nocturne from League of Legends.
Oh,
use
dear.
his ult in my head. I
want to play League again.
No, never.
Want to play,
oh, especially not after Vanguard breaking people's PCs. Asterisk. Asterisk, it's really not, but also who knows. So I had an illustrious history as a very problematic League of Legends player. I played so much Nocturne jungle that I full on, like, I have the muscle memory, because I was just tapping it on the table there. I'm like, I have the muscle memory for ganking someone. Fuck's sake.
Turned you into a truly horrible person.
It really did. It awoke.
That's why I want to play.
It awoke some vile shit in me, I tell you.
That's why I want to play League.
Not anymore.
League seems like just a safe space for complete...
A safe space for toxic behavior.
Yeah, a safe space for complete violence.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. That's why I play difficult games, because like single player games, because then that violence all just goes inwards. It's really helpful and great, by the way. So speaking of violence on everyone around you,
the Dawnbreaker.
It's the dungeon, the Dawnbreaker.
The segue works.
Let me just adjust my audio here, because last time I did this, I blasted your ears into oblivion for the PS3. Actually, I'm just going to mute this.
Oh, Oblivion. Oh, that was a time.
Yeah, I'll just mute this stuff because there's not really enough a lot of audio to go for this. So this is the Dawnbreaker, and this is like the first bit of the dungeon where... how do you do the full screen that? Yeah, find the full screen. This is the first bit of the dungeon where the camera snaps whenever you step on, because you step on the Dawnbreaker and it takes off. You're like, yo, I'm on an airship. Insane. Obviously, not exactly new. We've been on airships plenty of times.
But it's cool.
But it's a cool ass open for a dungeon. And you're like, well, where are you going? You're just patrolling the zone.
Fantasy's important.
Yeah.
Like, remember we had Grimrail.
Yeah.
A great dungeon.
That everyone loved. And
Yes.
no one had issues with.
A great and uncontroversial dungeon. Followed up by the Maw of Souls. Another great and uncontroversial dungeon. So I suppose that is to say... as a Final Fantasy player, you understand that trains are cool. Moving levels and, fantasy and spectacle.
They're the best.
They're the best, yeah.
Now, this one is not the best. I will say, people are going to be very mad about this dungeon for a long time. They're going to say, give me Naku defensive over this. They're going to say, Blizzard, what the fuck were you thinking? Have you lost your minds? Because in its current iteration, it's certainly difficult. And not difficult, hard difficult to comprehend where the fuck you're supposed to land later on. So you do this bit and you start off on the Dawnbreaker and do some Dawnbreaking, and then your priest dies, and then you almost die and you go, oh god, what's happening? And then your buffers, but then you remember you're a blood DK and do whatever you want, and you just continually have a buffering video. So you do. That's how this works. Just have your video buffer for ages, and then you try to remember where your Vampiric Blood is.
Big new spell. Spell book.
You go, Vampiric Blood is not on my bar. That's why it's not working.
Yeah, you can see here we're benefiting from our gigabit down.
Yeah, I assume this is a rendering thing of this being HEVC audio.
Audio, no, man. Clearly, you have put all of this up in ProRes.
100%.
And this is actually a terabyte a minute.
Yeah, so there's a lot of mobs in this dungeon, I will say. There's a shit ton of mobs. And they all do crazy shit, like, basically Master Spell is the dungeon's hero, which this priest did not have. They were trying Archon, so you'll see the halo go in and out, and they'll just halo every few seconds. That's really cool. That's in your Archon tree. But you'll see these guys have a shit ton of shields. the shields that heal them if they don't get popped. So we had a lot of trouble. You're going to be wanting to bring your purges and target mobs and do all sorts of things and pull decently and things like that. You're going to want to do an awful lot of that.
Mechanics? I don't know, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of mechanics here. So, generally speaking, this is going to be just a shit ton of mobs on the Dawnbreaker. Let's move to the next bit, which is the boss. These clips are definitely too long. But you've got your boss spawns here at some point. Oh, no, it's not. It's not the boss yet. I forgot. It's this bit first, which is you're under attack from airships. Go blow up the airship by flying over there and killing the dudes on it.
This is a game.
It's cool as hell.
This is a game.
It's so simple, but it owns. I was like, damn, I get
this
to fly
is like
airship.
something that you would do in a non-MMO game.
Yeah.
And think, what a cool bit of
I
spectacle.
literally immediately thought of Granblue Relink.
Well, there you go.
Because Granblue Relink's like one of the opening things is you
That's
go
a
and
good
blow up
co-
airships.
So, Granblue Relink, from what I understand, is basically just big all the time, nothing else matters. A bit. It just seems...
Not quite.
Okay.
It's pretty big sometimes, though. It does the big really well.
I guess that's to say that if a thing in an MMO with all the constraints that an MMO usually, has, if it reminds you of Relink, that's like probably a good sign.
Yeah, and you even full on have the ping system does work now. The ping system is if the
ping system's great.
If the ping system wasn't in this game, I wouldn't play this dungeon ever. Not as a tank or anything else. So you take these out.
Actually, do you think that Blizzard maybe feels like as ping system adoption increases, I don't know. I just wonder if they know that like people have those tools and then get used to using them to communicate by default.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Playing this in Priory and even playing some of the other dungeons, 100%, 1,000%. So is this going to be? Yes, this is the boss. So this is Speaker Shadowcrown, who is, we have learned to embrace the dark, be not afraid, let it embrace you. This is weird. It's all weird stuff. What's actually happened here, by the way, is this is an organization. I don't know much about them yet because this is the dungeon out of context. But these are clearly, Arathi who allied with the Nerubians and stuff to do void stuff. They have empowered Belladar in its darkened form, which means this is that like we are above Hollowfall. We're defending the city from attack. This person's powerful enough that we have to, in the middle of the boss fight, we have to fly off the Dawnbreaker.
Sick.
Otherwise, we die. And then what happens is you get distracted with a shiny orb, and then you don't get there in time, and your priest dies, which is fine.
GG. But you know what's good about that, right?
Yeah.
You can't weak aura that.
Yeah, you can't.
Because
well, you can, but
because it's. I don't want to say real gameplay, and then to say that this thing has a buff, and that means you've got to do this. Like, obviously, that's also gameplay, but that very tangible gameplay, the sort of thing where if you just played Mario 64, that would equip you with all the knowledge you need to understand, like, big explosion happening. I can fly. I will fly away from explosion. That's not you, like, hitting a defensive or clicking on something. It's, I suppose it's just to say, like, I think stuff that involves movement is actually the spell effect's really nice too.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. When you pick up those balls,
they restore your vigor. And there's got to be shot of Belladar in the background there.
Oh, does it transform during the?
No, I think it's just solid in this dungeon.
The
unless it does, and I didn't pay attention.
The transformations look incredible.
They're beautiful.
Man, it's so big.
It's beautiful too.
Can you fly over to it?
Nope.
How far away is it?
Very.
Right, it's this big cavern.
Yeah, it's a skybox thing basically.
Right.
Which is fine. So that's the first boss. This is the next bit, which is you basically have to go and sort out lieutenants of a Nubikaj, because you can't fight Nubikaj. It's the standard kill the lieutenants, then kill the boss. But obviously that's like there's a place in Shine with Light that you should probably land on. There's mobs fucking everywhere. Figuring out where to land in this is a complete nightmare. And I landed there, and no one else landed with me, and I'm like, it's so over. It's over. And everyone else died because they landed on top mobs.
People will work that out.
Yeah.
That's
so,
okay.
Like, it is a crazy dense place. Like, extremely dense.
Ping system.
Yeah, the ping system.
Problem solved.
I started pinging everywhere I was landing, everywhere I was going. straight away here.
Then all it'll take is one person to start engaging with that, and it'll kind of snowball.
Yeah, like as a tank, I was like, I'll just do that. I'll just ping on one and sorted, and everyone roughly followed me. And then, but like this is clearly a dungeon's a bit too dense for mobs, because look at what we have to do here, and that was just me running up the stairs to pull that. Like,
yeah,
all of these guys shield themselves and have a bunch of casking off, doing a load of things. Like, and this was relatively undertuned otherwise. So there's a wee bit of where we drop it, and like this fight took ages as well. And this is basically the whole clip is just us fighting, going through, doing some more fights, because I got confused. And I was like, there was a lieutenant there. I didn't realize it would actually killed it, so I killed some extraneous mobs. We basically go through the same thing over and over again, flying around, trying to get marker on tank symbol. Yeah, I should have marked myself. But even markers aren't helpful when you're that far away. Yeah. You do need to ping where you're going. And then everyone goes, okay, because follow the tank lands. It's a few seconds before someone else lands and starts healing or DPSing. We accidentally pulled the boss because this is patrol central. Everyone patrols like fucking crazy. You have to be super careful everywhere you go. And I noticed that in Priory as well. This is not a take your route and go. This is the dungeon feels a wee bit alive and you have to be careful in it. So we did not have a good time. We also did all the mechanics that we could do wrong because we didn't know them, because we're bad players. At least in this scenario, we cleared up a little bit more and we took down the boss eventually, which isn't really that interesting to show. Just outside, just actually like this is the bit where you're going around Hallowfall that you like, and you're sorting stuff out, which is cool because this is like a full on the Void people who were of your faction have showed up and attacked your home base, which is really fucking nice to go around a city in defense of it. Because obviously they tried that with Siege of Bralis, but you were like in the other side of Bralis as opposed to the recognized bit.
Yeah.
And you weren't as free to travel around, obviously, as well.
I guess at least like one of the things because I remember I did not really BFA. I was just pretty clocked out until really the latter parts of that expansion, and even then I was mostly doing raiding. But the one or two times where I was in the Siege of Bralis, it does strike you that okay, I understand there are issues with it as a dungeon, but the fantasy is strong, the theming is strong, like it has. Because now it's the term to use. Now the Kurzgesagt have also used it. They post a video like, why are Kurzgesagt videos so good? And the thumbnail just says the sauce. It had sauce, and like this has sauce.
Yeah. It's a wee bit undercooked because you'll watch something I noticed here. So there's the boss, and you see the boss, and you go, well, the boss looks like he's on his own. Let's go fight the boss.
Are you going to say that this is too heavily seasoned, Matt?
Look at how close I am before the mob is visible. There he is now. I'm tapping the screen as if you guys can see. This guy here.
Scuffed.
This guy here. So I was like, that looks safe. Oh my god, it's not safe. Oh shit, it's not safe. And then I believe I screwed that up. And then there are mobs there as well.
You need to get that producer back in the line. He's produced too many mobs. He's ruined the game. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of that like plagues this whole dungeon.
That creature spawning in, they should be able to set that custom for a dungeon.
Yeah, so it was there. It was there, but I couldn't see it. What
were your graphics settings?
On everything 7.
Oh no, that's a real problem. It's like evidently you can see there that the only mob that is flagged to be seen at that higher, further radius.
Yeah.
Or a distance from the player is the boss. So, okay, that's a really significant readability issue. Yeah. I imagine it is so obvious of a problem that it will be solved.
Yeah, it was a horrible
that would be unfathomable to ship.
Definitely was a horrible experience. Like we would land thinking we were safe, and then there'd be 8 mobs right beside us. We go, oh shit. And that wiped us a lot, but that's fixable, obviously.
Matt looks at camera and says, were we deceived?
Yeah, were we misled?
Were we misled? No, it's misled. Shit. At least we got one thing out of the recent drama.
Yeah.
The were we misled, as a meme format.
As a soundbite, it's good.
It's 10 out of 10.
Yeah. So this bit, if it'll ever load, is once you're done, you go back to the Dawnbreaker, which feels great because you basically have this you have this flying around base of operations that you're always safe at and that you respawn at, which feels fucking cool compared to anything we've done before. It feels so fresh. And then that just decided not to load. Let's see. Will this load? I will not have HEVC footage in future. on Notion because it's clearly a problem. It's also pretty big. I really should record smaller. But you've got a wee mini boss boy, and then the boss spawns, which I would love to show you.
But
It would be so nice to show you.
Matt, you cannot have nice things
I cannot.
because we are using software
We're
as a service.
don't get me started on my computer issues, man. Do you know how I fixed my computer issues?
Punched it.
No, so I said don't get me started, and then I immediately started myself.
Well, no, you were just being kind. You were saving me the energy.
Yeah. I got a new SSD. It should be really fast. It seemed really fast. My computer's having shit fit. I couldn't figure it out. It took 3 Windows reinstalls until I decided.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, 3.
Yeah. Trying different things, different installs. And then I decided to swap which actual hardware port my 2 SSDs were in, and then everything's fine. I put a PCIe 4.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you did.
I put them in different ports. That's fine. Because I have an M.2 like above the graphics card onto the CPU, and then one on the back.
You tell me.
I put the faster one in the back, and the one the slower one in the front, and that apparently solved the problem.
Why? Hey, Matt.
Hardware
care to show you're working out?
Hardware, probably bus limitations on the, because that's a that's a Ryzen 3700X on a Z370.
Yeah, I think.
That one. So it's probably limitations of the PCIe 4 SSD that was causing issues. But I tried to do a little bit of a, stall there so I get this fucking video loading. Didn't work. So fuck you, Notion. Will this one work? I wonder if this is because it's trying to buffer all of these. Probably.
That shouldn't be an issue in our connection.
Yeah, but
do you know what though? This is clearly a generic problem.
Yeah.
Because there are so few video services.
$1 billion to solves it.
I mean,
let's delete all these.
There's just so many video services, say Dropbox.
Mm-hmm.
You would imagine, Dropbox even has a product that's a little bit like, remember Frame.io we used to use for video approvals?
Yes.
They basically have that built in. But the problem in Dropbox is your video player basically doesn't work. Yeah. The amount of times I just clicking something in Dropbox, it just doesn't work. Yeah. It just refuses to load, and I'm on a gigabit. I'm on gigabit.
Yeah, it's not a throughput issue.
Yeah.
Is my backspace button not deleting that? There we go. Oh, it is now. Right, so will you function, sir? The stream does not seem to be switching to Michael when he talks. Give us a go there.
Give me the microphone, you sound box, you.
Mix effect disconnected.
Sorry, not
Mix effect disconnected. We're having a good time. So,
do you know what, Matt? I have a feeling that might be in some way connected to the repeated problems that we seem to have on the network with the NAS.
So, yeah, I imagine there's some minor dropout that's somehow not affecting stream because of some packet issue, because the cable we run to this box in here has actually been shorn to shit by the door. So we should just replace that.
It is. Fucky wucky.
Also, remember that long cable? Remember that long cable we thought we had that we didn't need to get one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the coax for coming in for the router, not an Ethernet cable.
Oh.
We were misled.
James. That's okay. I shall order it along with another Elgato low-profile microphone arm.
Nice. So
if you are watching this stream and you are from the Elgato Corporation, a subdivision of Corsair,
oh yeah,
just give us your shit. Just send us a big box of shit.
Please do.
Send Matt and let Matt have a bath in Stream Deck Minis.
I actually wouldn't mind just a regular bath as well.
Imagine having a regular bath in the city. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Actually, if a bathtub just never use it.
You bad.
Fuck it. Yeah.
I was misled.
Give us your words there.
My words. Oh my God, it worked. We are so back.
There we go. We're sorted. The solution is easy. You two sit next to each other, but then we'll break. We have this illusion where we're not even in the same room, believe it or not. Have you ever seen us both in the same frame?
There you go.
I don't know. Never mind the fact that I wave my hand in front of his camera.
No.
That's a fake hand.
No, this line in front of us, Matt, this is the border.
This is an elaborate.
Although
Mm-hmm.
a solution, what do I say solution? A setup more similar to the Luke and the Linus, and sometimes the producer Dan, where they can both be in the same camera shot because of a crazy invention. And that invention is called a triangular table.
Fucking hell.
Because either that or we do just put a camera there and it's wide. The problem is I really prefer being viewed front on as opposed to cross-sectionally.
Yeah. I look a lot better like this than I do like this. That's for sure. But this is...
It's fine. Well, I'll lift my way out of the problem.
This is Rashanan.
Holy, he looks pretty cool now.
He's a big, cool... kind of scorpion Rubian guy that is so big he jumps to the side of the thing and you find
that's a cool ass creature.
Yeah, also that was bad mechanic done. There's actually cool new stuff here.
Right,
You'll maybe
does
see
a
it shortly.
He does a line of blobs.
Yeah, so the line of blobs is interesting because you have to watch and see which direction it goes. So see that?
Oh, that's an entire... Yeah. That green line.
Yeah.
That's an entirely new effect.
Yeah, so that green line is positioning, but then the wave shows the direction it goes. So whoever got that did it right and brought it over so it would go that way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's very nice. It's not like the most engaging, amazing fight, but it is just generally slightly cool. And this is only phase 1. Yeah. Because there's phase 2, which didn't work all that well, and we didn't understand it and somehow won anyway. The game just said, you win now. But, there's the bombs where you basically don't do a whole lot of damage to him. He's got millions of HP. But what you do is you grab
that's weird. To me,
you grab the Arathi bombs and hit them.
To me, that green line should be inverted, just because of the direction the texture flows. Although I use natural scrolling and things.
Yeah, you're insane.
I might just maybe. Yeah, maybe I am.
So you see me following it, and then I'm like, wait, I'm stupid.
Yeah, because to me, the previous transparent texture is like the little wave that should be flowing in the direction the big wave will eventually go.
I disagree, but
Man.
Considering we had players do it right first time, I think it's probably better.
Oh yeah.
What game is this? No dark orange over red. You see, this is the alternate universe World of Warcraft where they learn to do things well.
This is Tarisland actually that we're currently watching.
Yeah. Oh. So Rashanan begins to flee, take flight. So I like that just crashed. That's the end of the clip. So
good. So the game just basically puts a raid warning in front of your screen saying "Go fuck him up."
So if you don't have this buff, this wee one up here in the middle, because that's a wee balance one. That's whatever the fuck's happening. That's the bomb. It's called Radiant Light. If you don't have that, you just die.
Oh, lovely.
You get a countdown and then you die because the shadow from Belladar is so oppressive that you just die if you don't have the blessing of the light. Which is the whole thing that the lamplighters do. The lamplighters go to great lengths and great self-sacrifice to keep the things alight, because if they don't, people just fucking drop like flies. So you fly down after him, and he has like a little pre-planned route where you fly down after him. You get your little dialogue from Steel Strike saying, the darkness is ready, the lamplight keeps safe. You get this boy on a fucking blimp giving you light as you fly down. And if you stray too far away from them, which is pretty generous, you just are in the shadow and die. There's loads of those vigor orbs. You don't really need them that much, because obviously, as you see here,
they're probably just put there as an accessibility feature.
Yeah, so I'm there max. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You're such a pro gamer skills. Yeah, hey, that's just a cool screen.
Yeah,
though.
It's beautiful.
That's a really full ass sea.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, Humongo Lake.
Yeah.
So this place is because it's funny, right? Because of where we're from, whenever we think of a lake, it's a thing you can see the other side.
Yeah.
And then I'm listening. There's Ocean Liner Designs. The way it's this is a story of a failed ship, and it's the Great Lakes, and it's holy shit, that's a lake that's a bit like a sea. Crazy.
Yeah.
So is that sort of the scale of this cavern?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
You
don't really get to go very far that way.
It's like a nation cavern.
Yeah, you don't really get to go that far that way, and most of the map is on the other side where it's caverns and stuff like that with different aesthetics. But that's a big open area. So this is where you go. Okay, well,
I just think that there's a scale,
that guy
a sense of grandeur.
Despawned. He's still there, and then I was like, well, where's he at? Oh no, I've lost my light boy. Where's my light boy? I was like, does that give me light? No, it doesn't. Oh shit, I'm dead. So it doesn't really work entirely as intended.
Okay.
Quite yet.
The intent is quite cool.
Yes. And then I went again and we did it, but we did it because of... Well, that's too far. No, I've spoiled it. We don't actually understand what happened. We had... Noble was the only one who survived.
Hello, Noble.
It didn't bug for him. And then he combat resed the other paladin, who then eventually combat resed me. And I was going to combat res the warlock, who would combat res the thing.
Yeah.
And we would have the proper, you've got a group full of battle res experiences. That was the plan. We were strategizing over how to be our pal was a bit sleepy on it. But there it goes. Bam. I'm awake. We're fine. The boss isn't really doing anything except for some stuff. Like he's just throwing out acid. And then we just won.
Congratulations, Matt.
We
well
did
done.
it. Yippee. Yahoo. Does this dungeon work as a follower dungeon? It will, yeah.
Yeah.
It will, because they said all of the dungeons will.
Who knows how?
And also, it's the only dungeon in the follower dungeon tab on the
Oh.
alpha. You can't do it that way yet, but it's on there. So we won. We won.
Congratulations.
God knows how that actual phase 2 goes, but I thought that was a really cool dungeon. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fucking fantastic. I struggled with the middle bits.
I love how it's like, it's completely broken and busted. I love it.
Yeah.
Which
Like,
I think is the point where, again, just talking to spectacle, sense of fantasy, whenever I think people talk about, things don't have sauce, it's like as much as maybe Not Good, I think, has maybe like whatever, a few issues as a dungeon, like Not Good is decently sauced.
Decently.
Like, though you're
it's a
kind
bit
of
frustrating in too many ways, but yeah.
But you're flying around a big battlefield. And it's so rare that World of Warcraft actually gets that sense of like fantasy and gravitas.
Yeah, and that's what they did with Darkflame Cleft as well. They went, here's the bit that's from a video game.
Yeah.
And you went, a video game in my MMO?
And Darkflame Cleft is just like a little mine.
Yeah.
And they sauced up the mine to the point where like it's a really good, really engaging dungeon. A smart use of space as well. Like the way that it loops back in itself. And it's just very smartly designed.
It really is. Dawnbreaker's good like that as well, because just here's... We made a little town called Meldar. What if that's our dungeon? What if you're on an airship around defending the city? Sick.
Yeah.
Solid stuff.
The
Like-
Pyre that
Yeah, people are going to have problems with like Iron M+, and fair enough, it's going to have issues. But fuck it, game's fun, play it. So
that's the best ever response.
yeah, that's it. Like that's kind of it. So here's some violence against non-aggressive mobs. Violating the nap right there. Just us having a bit. This is Priory. I went in this time as Frost because the warrior wanted the tank. So please don't look at my gameplay at all. We did a bit of exploring for the first bit where I was like, what's going on while we were doing talents? We found that there was a load... too far away. Where's that? Come on. I'm trying to skip around some stuff. Look at this. It's a wee vineyard.
Yeah.
It's a wee vineyard. The monks are brewing wine. It's buggy.
Are you saying there's Buckfast in World of Warcraft now?
Warcraft has buggy. We're flying.
Great.
We're flying.
We need a server that is full of
Yeah.
us and the Scots.
Yeah, and then over here, there's a load of sweet sting workers, which is all like honey farms and stuff. And you're like, they're actually just like making like mead and sweet wine and stuff. And this isn't part of the dungeon. This is just here. Like you don't, this is all here for no reason. For no reason for fantasy and stuff. Whereas the actual dungeon is you go through, and I don't know what the context is here. I don't know why we're fighting these guys. I can make some good assumptions, such as these guys suck. They're light guys, and they're ardent light guys. To hell with them. So you're basically, this is Scarlet Monastery 2.
Good.
It's the best way I can describe it. It's got a lot of the same mechanics, a lot of the same vibes. Obviously, it's like, man who's seen one cathedral. Sees cathedrals everywhere. That kind of thing. They're really annoying because they have this defend channel which you interrupt loads. That's one thing, but mobs, like with Dragonflight, mobs are so dense with mechanics. And they're not even like major, like, oh, you have to solve this. It's just like, this is annoying unless you bring 7 forms of CC. Which is perfectly fine because it gives you that skill expression of like blinding light and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And
which I dig.
And in a world where M0 is what M0 is right now,
Yeah.
this is all very good and welcome.
Yeah,
because if you can just, have a second to think before, if you maybe have a question, you can say to your friend, hang on, Is there something I need to know? Because I even remember that back in... If you're in the take a shot every time I mention Cataclysm Heroics, take another one. But like whenever you're in a Cata Heroic with people that you like and you want to play with and you don't know what to do, well, there's no timer and you could ask. So I suppose...
or you can think about
a universe... Yeah, where like the new M0 is what it is. Yeah. It means that if you die to that boss at the end, you're not like, oh my god, brick key, I've lost 18 hours of time now I'm angry. It's so ogre.
Yeah, and it's like, fuck it, go again.
Yeah.
Which, spoiler, we had to hear.
Yeah, and it just, I think, means the Blizzard can have mechanics.
Yeah.
Be there and in that mode not compete with sort of, go mega fast. Which, of course, is total bollocks because people are going to do that anyway.
Camera's not switching to you. Camera's not switching to you.
Yeah, I've
that didn't even disconnect. That literally just lost the...
It's gone.
I said this didn't disconnect, and then as I was saying that, it disconnected. So let me fix this really quick, and then we'll be... If it breaks again, I can't be bothered fixing it again. We'll just...
There's some... Yeah, it's just got to be our network. I suppose we just need to route those cables properly and use non-scuffed cables.
Yeah, that would be the play. Not using scuffed cables is generally the done thing. But
or we just circumvent this entire problem and switch everything to optical.
Oh, optical, that'd be quite nice.
There we go. Just everything optical. Or, who knows, maybe Wi-Fi 10.
Wi-Fi 10?
Whatever it'll be when it comes out. You have a
no
zettabyte a second.
No, wireless is shit. Right, so we should be working again. Fantastic. There's this thing in the middle of the area. We didn't know what it does. But it's called the Sacred Flame. Or Eternal Flame. And people who are versed in holy magic may make some use of it. So priests or paladins are able to do stuff. That was just a lieutenant-y boy.
And of course, Anduin is going to show up, dominated, of course, using domination magic. He's going to steal the flame.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So let me just clean up some of this so we get some...
It shouldn't have to be like this.
Yeah, it is how it is. So this was just me wanting to display something, which is
toggles.
The sheer amount of patrols. Yeah, toggles.
I think with how Notion renders that, toggles would be the fix.
Yeah. So we're like, we're just killing some mobs. Why is the healer? Oh, okay. Yep. Patrols. They're so heavy with patrols in some of these dungeons. Like this one's a little bit more open, and you go sword lieutenants. It's ridiculous. Like, it is honest to God ridiculous how much you need to pay attention to what you're doing, where you're going. And this is normal. This was probably one of the least undertuned of the normal dungeons. And there's me rooted outside of the Spirit Link, shitting myself, thinking, where's my Blessing of Freedom? And I'm like, I'm on my DK, fuck. There's a Blinding Slate that defend. And it was just, there's a shit ton of patrols going on. And there's not really too much more to say here. So I'll delete this and move on. What a normal way to have to run a stream. And this is the first boss, Captain, I'd say Darcy. Dalkery. And it didn't really trigger as a boss. And there was this guy here who was doing something for some reason. And it didn't really... I was like, what if I just... Fuck it, whatever.
Swirlies?
My time. Swirlies, yeah, from the Fireboy. I was like, I'll just AMS and whatever. Fuck this.
Look at you expressing your knowledge and skill.
Yeah, fire damage. Anti-magic shell will save me. There's my... You'll see my Riders of the Horseman coming out and giving me death and kill all the time. There's my... Yeah.
The fundamentals of that,
it
does just look and feel cool.
Yeah, it does. Especially when you don't have your... You don't have your death and decay up, but you need your obliterate cleave, and then Mogrian comes in with his death and decay, and you're like, yes, you saved me. You saved me. So this is... inside, believe it or not, in the second boss. People are going to get mad at this, and I hope Sanguine isn't in this game anymore, because they do a beautiful consecration, a very pretty consecration that does 1 billion damage and blocks off the whole fucking room all day long. So there's a lot of skill expression and stuff, and like things you can do to make the game easier for yourself if you're playing with a decent like M+ group or whatever else, given that mechanics these boys are busting out. It definitely toned a little bit high damage wise.
I think the zone might be more testable now. I've been
Right.
just checking out on Twitter, and lots of people are now posting not just
Campaign stuff.
some campaign stuff and general
Sweet.
gameplay.
Nice.
So
Must do that this evening. This evening? It's fucking 10 o'clock night tonight. So this is the second boss, and he didn't seem to do an awful pile for us. I do recognize his name in that you do quests that he seemed to be a good guy earlier, so something must happen that you end up having to attack the Priory of the Sacred Flame and do whatever with it. I'm not sure what. There doesn't appear to be a whole pile going on, but you imagine this in Tronicle and you go, okay, well, we're interrupting everything. This is normal, so he's missing mechanics, and also those hammers and exploding zones are probably going to get a bit rough, and they probably have very high damage as well. So that was just me showing the second boss for some reason. What is next? Next is
this dungeon looks
the
gorgeous.
Scarlet Monastery.
Like, yeah, again, when you say like this is
This is the White Main Room, but different, right down to the stand outside and pull all the fucking boys down. Like,
I remember it well from Warcraft Rumble. So I do.
Fuck off. So, and look, there's me with a just like SM in party chat. Just another melee unfriendly dungeon. Move out of the fucking shit.
SMH.
Move out of the shit. Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Is the camera's disconnected again? It must be.
Yeah.
Excellent. I guess I will just be the host.
That's it.
You're obsolete.
Oh, you know how it is in a late night television talk show. There's always like some guy who's just there and like says, "You're like, what is the deal with?" There's just like some dude.
Yeah, just some dude doing stands though. Yeah.
Yeah, and the guest like awkward. He was like, "Oh, hello there, Jimmy O'Brien."
Yeah.
And then there's always a dude that I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I did the Jimmy Kimmel Experience in Orlando, and I still don't get it.
Yeah. So this feels a lot more like a classic dungeon.
Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah.
you're going through hallways and pulling boys, and there you go. You're hiding around walls.
Sounds like a standard night out.
Yeah, you're going around the corner. You're getting mad at consecrates. You're wondering, why am I over here? Is my obliterate hitting? What's my range? I don't play DK. Someone help me, please. What are my buttons? Should I be pressing Soul Reaper on these low health mobs? Probably. A good thing I pressed it 6 times this dungeon. I'm good at this. I'm really good at this. So just like standard mob stuff. The fun part is the final boss cooks quite a bit. This was a mini boss, and is literally just like tuning stuff. But this guy, Sir Braunpike, not to be confused with the second boss, Baron Braunpike. They're different boys. They're brothers actually. Believe it or not. And we all just die. We all just slowly but surely die. Because he's radiating. He's so radiant that he's actually dealing a bunch of AoE damage. And he's also an undead. If you see his stance, he's one of the light infused undead.
Something they're certainly setting up.
Yeah. So I think we actually die here. We actually die, and I go, I've got this, I can do this, I'm the big skill man, and then I realize I don't have any ring power and can't death strike, and don't have AMS, and I die. Should have had Hellstones from the Warlock. Damn. I won't show him again, but will I? Oh my. There we go. Can I skip to him being dead? See, we put the skull marker on this time, so we win. That's how it works. I was like, this guy.
Oh, hello.
He's 111. I really lingered on that shot there real well, so I did. Incredible cinematographer. Bro, let me... This is Princess Merprey. Merprey. Get it? Like Murray, but Prey. Because she's the prioress. Did I say princess? Prioress. And we take our sweet time pulling her because the tank is explaining what she does.
And whenever that happens, you open chat and you say, go, go, go.
Yeah. So she summons as you would say, little dick boys. We risen footmen. So she's got all these like undead boys. She jumps up there and starts radiating damage. I didn't have my charger, so I was very slowly walking up.
See, it's either dick boys or it's little creeps, and both of them have a different energy.
Yeah. She's pumping out light.
She sure is.
From the flame. until we break our shield and interrupt her, which is
Good wee mechanic. That's going to kill you all. Very good.
yeah, because we took 7 months to get up there, and there were 1,000 ads.
Yeah.
And our healer was dead, so we wipe here very unceremoniously. Then we try again. There's a middle try I don't have here because we died again because we're dog shit. But we did this right this time, which is, I hope they fix this actually. I hope that we're trapped in the lower room until she teleports, because the tank just had the great idea of like, what if we just pull her up the stairs and then we don't have to travel as far? And also the mobs spawn in down the middle, so we have more time for the mobs to get to us. We're like, oh, this is some degen shit. I hope they can sort that out. But I'll move that. There's no real big sound effects or music or anything or voice lines to go on here, so otherwise I would show those off because they're important. So this time we beat her because we're already there and, press all our cooldowns. Almost missed with Frostworm Fury because I'm great at the game. And then before the mobs even get to us, she's got. And then no one interrupt for like 2 seconds. And I have all of my horsemen here help me because I Frostworm Fury.
Like big picture, visually, vibes.
Yeah.
All are very strong right now.
It's absolutely.
I like this big flame.
Yeah,
Your light flame that you're.
Yep, that must be the eternal flame.
Yeah.
And then she's blinding lights, which you have to turn away from. You have to face away from mechanic. It's Final Fantasy 14. So yeah, that's I think the 2 dungeons. The 2 dungeons are genuinely fantastic.
Yeah, they're both going hard.
Matt has never heard of Death's Advance. See, I have Death's Charger because I'm a Rider of the Apocalypse, and it was on cooldown. All right, okay. As the day came in, the chance to watch. I'm really sorry about that. So yeah. That's that. Those are the dungeons. I'm super impressed by every dungeon I've done so far. I think the only one that didn't impress me so much was Cinderbrew Meadery, and I just kind of wasn't super hype about that, about the aesthetic. In the same way, I don't like a lot of like basically when the game decides to be about goblins or gnomes, I'm like, whatever. So Cinderbrew being
whenever it just goes a bit like, haha, Lamau.
Yeah, so it'd been a little bit more funny with that. I thought it was funny, but I didn't enjoy it as much. I like the more serious stuff. As part of like the storyline stuff, like the rookery and all that.
Joyless toxic gamer.
Basically, yeah.
All he wants is sweaty abs.
Yeah, it's Priory it's a little bit more generic, but I liked it being generic as opposed to everything being different. Like,
well, it's big. It's like it's
having Scarlet Monastery 3.0 in a world where I'm also doing Darkflame Cleft and the Dawnbreaker is gonna feel like, honestly, this feels like it's time to get some real tasty vanilla ice cream.
Scale and scope, that's more like a flipping SM 5.0. Like, it's big.
Yeah, that's true.
It's big, but Sally Whitemane's dead, so it's bad.
Yeah,
and it's vastly inferior to the previous because of that.
Did the dungeons feel long? Some of them felt long. I think like that was maybe 30 minutes, but we had a lot, like in terms of like the footage I recorded was like 35 minutes or so. But that was a lot of it was us taking our time sometimes, not knowing exactly where to go.
Deaths.
We probably could, a couple wipes. We probably could have done that in like 20 if we went fast enough. Like,
the mine, it's really quick.
Yeah.
Cleft. Dark Flame.
Dark Flame Cleft. It was called Lost Mines at one point on bit, I think. And then they went, Dark Flame Cleft has sauce.
Yep.
It
was pretty short and sweet.
Yeah. Rookery's pretty short as well. Meadery was short enough.
I will say, like, I do.
What was the other one?
I do prefer that in a dungeon.
Stonewall's
in a modern, I should
say.
I prefer that in a modern WoW dungeon.
Yeah, I agree.
If you want to go and give me like an Ubers again, I'm also completely open to that. But for like a standard WoW dungeon that you'll do in a Mythic Plus or do a world tour of, I think that's good.
Yeah. The best way to do that is what they've been doing with the mega dungeons, which is just here's a mega dungeon with a few wings.
Yeah.
As a dungeon, it's all the wings together. As an M plus, it's a couple wings or one wing of the 2 or 3. I think that's the stuff I expect. So what are our other dungeons left then? The two cities?
Yeah.
Arakara, City of Fate, and City of Threads?
I mean, so far the hit rate in dungeons is pretty good.
There's not one of them I dislike.
The hit rate on the zones, pretty good.
It's also pretty good. We'll see. I assume Hollowfall will be good, like campaign was. And I haven't done a lot of exploring of the Ringing Deeps.
I think...
No, the Isle of Dorn felt like the weakest outdoor zone because so much of it was kind of, it's just an island, so they can't do anything super special. That said, the Fungal Folly Delve was nice.
Like it.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of because I like that sort of thing, so I
yeah, it wasn't particularly to my taste, being fairly standard, even though it's like it has a little sandy area. It has like, I didn't go up to the like excavation up at the northeast of it. I didn't see that. Everything was like, here's a nice little island. I'm like, it's pretty. But like Ringing Deeps, I didn't super vibe with visually. But the more I explored it, the more I liked it. Like the little wad area, the little Gorgrondy area in the Living Grotto was very nice. The Shadow Vein Point's really nice.
I love the Dwarven architecture, like the kind of mechanized earthen. I think that stuff looks really, really cool.
Well, I don't need to drive this.
And then Hollowfall looks... Hollowfall looks absolutely flipping incredible. And everything they've shown of Azj-Kahet also looks quite incredible.
Azj-Kahet is almost certainly going to be like the big winner, I think. Just because...
Yeah. Like we are currently... Like the vibes are feeling very good.
Yeah.
So far for me.
Yeah, it's like I'm not unbelievably impressed consistently by the campaigns, right? I've seen two of them. I'm not like, this is fucking sick. I'm like, this is good. This is fine. This is okay. Some of the side quests, I didn't do very many in the Ring Deeps. I did a lot of the Isle of Dorn. I was like, these are fine. These aren't amazing. So there's like a little bit like, this isn't going to be some fucking breakout 10 out of 10. But the more, the more we get added with like, because there's surely going to be side quests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the more we get added with that, the more we get like the events added and world things actually happening. Because like nothing was happening in Isle of Dorn, but now we're in Hollowfall and we see world quests.
Yeah,
and things
everyone's
like that
asking where's the sauce. Others will be asking where's the soup.
Yeah, so I think that's the
equivalent of those.
Yeah.
Thing because like the soup kind of took off with the community, even though when it shipped it was literally broken.
It was
couldn't get orders from Big Canuck.
It was memeable, fun, and rewarding enough. People actually liked it. It was. They'll certainly have a soup. They'll have a soup of some form.
It would be really funny if it just became tradition that there's just soup in every expansion.
That would be nice actually, because that works for almost every single expansion has its own. This like you've got the people who are a little bit like homesteady, and that'd work in Hollowfall.
Oh no, it's just Big Canuck.
Oh,
he just comes with us.
Okay, right, okay, fair. Well, not quite as interested in that, but actually, I think I really like that because there's like the farm and Hollowfall and stuff people haven't found yet.
Oh yeah, that's a good place for events.
Yeah, we farm. It's all very nice.
A lot of the assets as well. That's another thing I noticed. So, when is the last time Blizzard made big, nice-looking human kits? I mean, like kits, tile sets.
I guess the
Storm Shields and the Garrison stuff.
Yeah,
but they haven't done a massive amount of human. I mean, they really haven't done much human beyond that.
The closest would be the Legion stuff out by fucking Gilneans.
Yeah.
Out by Little Britain. Out by Bloodborne. Out by Bloodborne, which is across the road from Blackrock Hold, which I was always like, yeah, like this makes sense. You made it make sense, but what the fuck?
Yeah, so there's a bit of me that just, I've seen screenshots of people, in an inn, just looking about the place, seeing you there. And there's lots of people that are thinking, look at all of these houses.
Yeah, human houses.
Look at all of these new assets you've made.
Half-elf houses.
So,
sorry, you can't call them half-elves. They don't like that.
They don't?
They just see themselves the Arathi. They're a race unto themselves.
Oh.
So they are.